Well, hello everyone. Thank you all so much for joining me. How you doing this late night? Hope you are well out there. Good to see you. Hello. Who do we got first up in here? Bo was first. She started when I hit just create. She was here. Andrea, how are you doing? Good to see you, my dear. Janet, number 3. Amanda, number 4. The other Sharon, number 5. Callie, 6. Rainbow, 7 or 8. Saved by Grace. Ocean. Good to see you guys. Hope we will hear good news about Sebastian and Summer and soon for Jack and Lily too. I know. Me too. So, after my live, I was fired up. I was really fired up earlier because I apologize. That's not usually me, but I get really ticked off with Daniel. He was in another channel earlier, and I was watching what he was saying. I was actually I went to Walmart after I ended my live, and so I was watching him. I was watching, and when I was checking out, Seth was going he was live as well. So I got to listen to some of it, but I had a lot going on. I had Remy with me and all that. So that was going on. And so I wanted to kind of go over a little bit of that. You know, when it comes to Daniel, we're going to get to that as well because Daniel, you know, they were asking him, Daniel, come and straighten some of this up, like making it any way pretty much he wanted, uh, to be accessible, not even asking him new questions, but just clearing up things that he has already spoken about. Did he say he was going to do it? I don't think so. I don't think so. And this is the thing. I'm not going to beg and plead and continue to ask some mother chicken who does not want to clear it up. Why would I want to sit and just completely beg this mother chicken to clear up his own BS? Right? Why? Joanne, I haven't seen it all. I haven't seen it all. I typed in chat. I said, hey guys, I didn't know he was live 30 minutes when I started watching. And I said, guys, I'll join you guys here in a second. And then after Walmart, I went somewhere else and I saw a friend and we got to talking. And I had my phone there, but I didn't really get to listen. Well, and that's right, Teresa. He would only continue lying, in my opinion. I mean, like I said earlier, when it comes to Daniel, there is no way. Some things potentially could be cleared up. Oh, I'm sure, Roxy. But there is no clearing up. You said she had a pink sweater on, right? And like pink sweats. And then you said she has a pink Barbie shirt on. And then you said she has I have the pink shirt at my house. And then you said, well, we can't tell you what she's wearing, what the kids are wearing. There's no way to clear that up. because you checked every single box. There's no way to clear that up. It's over at that point. Right? Seth didn't have near enough mods in there. I wish. Why does he go into chat just to say he can't say anything? Well, I've got some of the things that he said, and we'll cover that. Let me see here. Let me look at what he said. Let me pull it up. I had people texting me left and right. But here he says, I think they're alive, but the location is in question. I think they're alive, but the location is in question. Okay. But he's also talking about cadaver dogs, which is the last, his words again, the last, I think he said the last step or something like that. Malehya never tells her story. That's the strangest thing. Again. Daniel says he asked for cadaver dogs back in June. Daniel, why are you saying cadaver dogs if you think they're alive? I mean, why are you saying that? Oh, totally, Rainbow. Totally. I already answered this. I found my stapler today to put up posters. I'm wearing the bracelet right now. Breaking news, y'all. After 72 days of Lilly and Jack missing and lying for the last 72 days, Daniel wants you to know that he's a good boy and he's going to put up posters for Lilly and Jack. But he thinks they're alive, but he also thinks that he's asked for cadaver dogs and he knows things that he can't tell us. Exactly, Rainbow. I mean, does he want us to praise him for, putting up a stapler? Your rusty ass stapler? I mean, I don't even know. Like, he has to, in my opinion, to be smoking meth to even think that any of that stuff makes sense. He couldn't buy one. No, he just wants good boy, good boy, good boy. Exactly, Ocean. Exactly. I don't understand it. Amen, Bubbly. Amen. Okay. So I want to also review this with Seth this evening. I got a lot of text and it said, this broke my heart. So I don't know. I haven't. Here we go. I know he's frustrated. I know he is. And I know, and I get it how he might feel like nobody's speaking about Sebastian now. You get what I mean? But there's really nothing there's nothing else that I know to say. It's not that I don't want to talk about Sebastian or anything, but I just don't know. I don't know what else to do. And that's the God's honest truth. I'm being 100% real with you. I don't know what else to say. You can hear the pain in his voice. I know. I know. Seth is a good man, and I I wish I could take the pain away. You know, I wish law enforcement would give him the answers. Seth asked us to continue sharing 10 flyers and Sebastian flyers to contact in your phone. Seth mentioned a lawsuit coming. Well, you know what? Yeah, I don't know. Seth did have a live tonight. We're going to kind of review it. I'm going to get by. I don't know how he starts it out or anything, but we love Seth and we will always support Seth here. Always. Uh, even if I don't agree, even when I didn't agree with him in the past on some things, always knew that he is innocent, that he is a father that has done everything that he knows to do within his power and then some to try to find his son. Sebastian was everything he had. And he moved there for a son. And now he's still there for a son, with his son not being there. And, you know, I don't believe Sebastian is alive. Personally, I don't think he's been alive since that night. With Summer's case, 4 years later, over 4 years later, we're going to have it live tomorrow on Summer's case. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about there is renewed efforts in finding Summer Wells. And the TBI is allegedly going to be doing some searches, from what I hear. And so there's that. Thank you, Wendy. I appreciate that. So I think something really bad, in my opinion, happened in Summer, or not Summer's, in Sebastian's one home that he was in that night. And I think people freaked out, and he was, in my opinion, taken out. And I do believe justice will come for Sebastian eventually. I absolutely do. I always have to believe that justice will come. I see it so many cases. Sometimes it takes years, decades, but I do believe within my heart of hearts that justice will come for Sebastian. Oh, thank you, Shannon. You're so good to me, girl. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, darling. Thank you so much, dear Shannon. Really do appreciate you, honey. Good to see you. Is there a time for that live, Justin? So I have an appointment tomorrow. It'll be probably around might be a little earlier, like 4:00 ish, but I'll be live at least a couple times tomorrow. Chris did a show in Sebastian. He was getting mad over. Chris did? Chris did? Edgar? I don't think I feel really sorry for people who have to live, especially children, most especially. Oh, gotcha, Mob. Okay, sorry. Mob's my buddy. He's a good guy. Who have to live with people like Don and Candace, Edgar and KK, Malehya, Daniel. And there's a lot out there. They're a gift. Children are a gift. Doesn't mean they don't, work your nerves sometimes or whatever, but I don't know how people do this. All right, here we go.
Can you all hear me? Oh. First and foremost, I'd like to say thank you for everybody who just came in. I appreciate everyone. There's been a there's echo open. It's been a minute since I've done a live, so just pretty much trying to remember everything I'm supposed to be doing. Do want you to know that there has been activity behind the scenes. We're, stuff coming in from at night, people wanting to sit there and do some pretty stupid shit, in my opinion.
Shit, I was muted. Sorry. Maybe it was for a reason. Maybe I shouldn't have said it. So there you go.
Threatening my son.
Now, okay. So I don't know. He's talking. He said there's been things coming in with that night or whatever. I don't know if, I guess he still has some sort of relationship with that night. I haven't talked to him, Seth, about at night or anything like that. But I don't. I personally, this is just me. And if you think something different, I am all for it. Fine. I don't really follow at night so much anymore. And that's just me. Now, I am thankful that they're, supporting Seth. I appreciate that. You know what I mean? I totally appreciate that. And have no ill will or anything toward anybody. But it's just I just don't.
whether it's a host or not, it's just not right. But
Oh, thank you, Rufo. Appreciate you.
kind of been really busy. Been really busy tracking down stuff.
Amanda.
Tracking down
That's
leads that are coming in, dealing with the FBI. I've been dealing with a lot of other law enforcement agency groups.
let's speed it up.
It's like I'm tired. I'm tired. But the whole point of it is that I don't know what's going on with my son. So I continue on. Whatever happens to happen. I just know I got to keep going until I find him. Don't like to tell people where some of these are coming from, but
it's very sad.
We've had people call into the tip line. Just got done dealing with one in Arizona. Been dealing with a couple in Virginia. You know, life isn't what you think when your kid goes missing.
You know, I have talked to Seth in the very early hours of the morning, and I cannot tell you how low, depressed, just I could feel it in my soul speaking to him at times. And that's how I feel kind of right now. It's a lower than low. You know what I mean? It's you don't know where to turn. You don't even know what to do. And I don't think that goes away. I don't think it goes away until you know. You know what I mean? People, I've talked to a lot of parents who have missing children or a missing loved one. And they say the unknown is the worst part. The unknown is the worst part, right? Just not knowing and not having a place to go visit, even if that is, God forbid, a graveyard. Right? And so my heart really goes out to him.
Try to keep a positive outlook. And every time I turn around, there's just people out there.
Hey, Jazz. AML.
It's hard to find anything
Yeah, Brandy.
that's enjoyable while this is going on. But I keep myself busy.
Thank you,
between
Stacy.
work,
Amen.
running down
Amen.
tips. Then they're trying to make sure,
Thank you, Saved by Grace,
going
honey.
well.
On
Then I
your
get
channel a few
reports,
years ago. Ah, thank you, Saved by
a
Grace.
a
Thank you,
couple other
Stacy.
people, what they're doing.
Thank you both so much.
The fact that my son's own mother doesn't seem to care.
Agree with that.
What happened to him?
That's all you need to know. And, this is my opinion. You guys know where I've pretty much always stood on this case. And I would take it to God, in my opinion. That's how sure I am on this one. A mother that moves on so quick, right? Doesn't mean she's not sad. Doesn't mean she doesn't miss him. Doesn't mean anything else. But I think, for just my opinion, her is a different grieving process, because, in my opinion, she does know. For Seth, he doesn't know what happened. He doesn't have the answers to what happened to Sebastian, right? When you know what went down, whether it was bad or not, you still know. And you have that answer, even if it's not the answer you really wanted, the regret or whatever. You still have the answer. It's not easy. I'm not saying that. I don't know. Just my opinion.
You know, the day that I find Sebastian and he actually sees this stuff that's gone over, I hope he understands that I'm doing everything I can. Doing everything I can to find him.
Now, when I was watching him, he was getting fired up.
Everything I can to make sure nobody forgets him, because I never will. You know, people still, I need help.
This is how a parent acts. You are broken. Thank you, Joe. Thank you so much. You are broken. His grief is a roller coaster. And grief very much is like a roller coaster. It is very, very, very much like a roller coaster. It's the roller coaster of all roller coasters. In grief, it comes in waves, or surfing. You could say it's surfing, because it builds up and it overflows, and then you feel better for a minute, and then it builds up and then it overflows. And that is the grief, right? You cannot grieve until you know, right? So Seth is, and people who truly don't know what happened to their loved one, they're in a state of constant panic, not knowing.
I need people to still please continue to hand out the flyers. That's the reason that we continue to get tips. Even if they don't pan out, I don't find my son. Still,
You guys know that, some of y'all, most of y'all know probably, but I used to worked at several funeral homes in my day, and we've had people who loved ones had been missing years, and they were like found in the woods later or whatever. And many people would still have a full funeral, full funeral. And it was because they needed that closure, right? They needed the closure of, this is the end, the closing chapter, if you will, and then they can start moving past that, having the answers, right? Oh, thank you, SL. You're the best. Proud to be. You're amazing, honey. Thank you, SL. I appreciate you very much, honey. You're amazing. Thank you, love. The mob says he's going to spill the tea when they find him. He said he knows things, but yeah, Alicia, the mob crew and I, we have a lot of the same sources. Chris and I are pretty close when it comes to our sources and stuff. And we talk. We haven't talked much recently because I haven't been doing a lot of Sebastian content or anything. But yeah, there's things out there that oh God, whenever there are secrets,
Keeps the hope up. It really does. I mean,
oh,
the
1,000%.
only thing that I have right now is the hope that I find him.
I don't know about that, Ann, but
That's all I really care
solving
about.
it is finding Sebastian and getting
Finding my
justice.
son.
That's when it's solved, in my opinion. But we've worked really hard on it.
It's just sometimes there's not enough time in the day to get everything done that's needed to be done. And sometimes there's too much time.
One of these days, Kimbo.
Just it's never ending.
I mean, there's things.
I mean, you kind of start putting everything into perspective, and it's like
There's things out there that, in my opinion, if would get released, I don't know how. How in God's name someone could support someone like Ed Gurr.
like taking my truck in for a service on an oil change, and I'm like,
Don't know.
dang, supposed to get an oil change every like.
But you can't release it. You can't release this stuff. Like I've said this 1,000 times when I've talked about session. There's things that you just can't release because certain people would know where it came from. Yes, one more mile to Jericho. Yes, let him fall.
5,000 miles, and it's already been 5,000 miles, and another 5,000 miles, and another 5,000 miles, and the next thing you know, you've done put 20.
That's right. Cameras picked up a cat, but magically never picked up a 15-year-old human being.
1,000 miles on your vehicle, and you're like, didn't realize I'd been on the road that much. Didn't realize that
Seth has been on the
tracking
road.
down tips takes so much. And it really, so besides the fact that that's my son, besides the fact that my profession has been affected by this,
I do not think, and I'll tell you this flat out, I do not think Sumner County will solve this case. I don't think that they'll solve it because they can't even agree on things. Can you, Sumner County? This needs the full weight of the federal government.
I just there's not enough people in this world that have the job title in these law enforcement agencies that actually care about the children.
Guys, we're going to take a brief intermission to look at this email. I
A
heard
lot
someone
of you have
talking about
heard
this.
about the data that was allegedly collected from Katie's watch from the night of February 25th into February 26th. I didn't want to talk about it this morning when I made my video
Yeah,
earlier
I
because I
realized
wanted
talking.
to dedicate an entire video on this. So basically, it's being alleged that around 3 a.m., Katie's watch detected an increase in heart rate. Now, why would a heart rate increase at night? Could be due to several different things: stress, anxiety, medications, low blood sugar, sleep disorders like sleep apnea. But what's odd about this, if it's true, is that we have so much that's going on at this specific time. We have that vehicle outside, we have the lights footage, things that
Who was the first creator that ever said, "Oh, Katie, you did not have your watch on after this meal until June or July"? Who was that creator? Oh, wait. Right there. Everyone's like, "Oh my God. Oh my God. You're right. You're right." Yeah. And I went through every video, every photo with her right on here and said, we looked through every picture, video, photo of her. I noticed that she did not have that watch on after this meal the next day. Kiki Sumner, let U.S. Marshals take over. Love you, Justin. Thank you so much, Kiki.
seem to point us in the direction that something pertaining to Sebastian's disappearance was going down or could have been going down at this time. Now, my question is, why was Katie's watch still on at 3 o'clock in the morning? Most people who have watches like this take
Thank you,
them
my
off
dear.
before getting into bed, put them on the charger. The fact that Katie still had her watch on allegedly at 3 a.m. leads me to believe that she never actually went to bed when she hung up the phone with Chris Proud.
I would literally take it to God, in my opinion, that she never slept that night. That's how I'm always sure. I'm like, how sure are you, Justin? Would you take it to God? I'm like, I'm that sure. she, I do not believe she slept that night, nor do I believe Edgar slept that night.
Proudfoot. That something happened that night that would have strayed her away from going through the normal motions that she typically would have before bed. I'm interested to know if her heart rate had went up anytime prior to that in the night. Something to indicate that maybe something happened in the hours prior to this happening at 3 a.m. And did her watch detect any foot?
And let me just tell you something. KK has wore an Apple Watch or something equivalent to an Apple Watch for the last several years. And she usually wears it with a nude or skin fleshy collar. And she usually wears the same band almost in every picture for the last several years. Every picture of the last several years that she has, she's got a watch on. And she's got one on February, what was it? February 25th, when she is at Texas Steakhouse. Then I started noticing, KK, you don't got your watch on. and she doesn't have one on February. After that, March, April, May, and June. Almost 5 months.
Footsteps that she was making at that specific time at 3 o'clock in the morning? Or was law enforcement able to confirm, like, yeah, her heart?
I believe 1,000% law enforcement knows who is involved in Sebastian's disappearance. But I also believe they don't know where Sebastian is. And I think they are having a hard time finding a vehicle.
Rate was up based on the data that they obtained from her watch, but she was likely sleeping at that time. She was laying down and there was no footsteps taken. A lot of questions rise with this because where is the watch? We have not seen the watch since prior to Sebastian going missing. So does this mean that?
Now, KK's got a watch on, and she's had a watch on. She started wearing a watch in June or July. I can't remember if it was June of 2024 or July of 2024. Mohawk probably remembers. I noticed that as soon as Justin mentioned the watch X. What's that, Robini? What did Robini say? Hey, Maurice, tell mommy hi. She would have disposed of it. She would have. Yeah. So I said I think law enforcement is having a hard time with finding a vehicle, or I think the vehicle, which I probably think they're probably having a harder time finding the vehicle, but also many times vehicle data, your black box, so to speak, in the newer vehicles, if it is a newer vehicle, they overwrite fairly quickly of where someone was. Ironically, in Barry Morphew's case, Suzanne Morphew, when he was disposing of Suzanne, allegedly, because he's not convicted yet. I mean, he's accused, but he's been charged, but he's not been convicted. They got some data off of Barry's truck, but when he was allegedly disposing of her for the 4 hours that it allegedly took him to do, from leaving the house to coming back, it overwritten it overwrites itself after so long. Oh, months and months and months and months and months. I've been talking about this watch. Thank you, Maurice.
Katie
Thank you,
doesn't
Mama.
have her watch and that law enforcement is still in possession of her watch because it's possibly evidence. To me, Katie's heart rate being up could be one of three things or a combination of the three.
Now, I have heard this about KK's watch or heart being elevated at 3 a.m. I've not spoken to many of my sources in a little while because I just don't know what else I can do, to be quite honest with you. If you got an idea, email me, text me. I'll consider it. But I want to know where is this 3 a.m. where is this 3 a.m. heartbeat coming from? Right. Is this just someone making this up? Or where is it coming from? Does anyone know? Because I'm not saying Matt by any stretch of the imagination. I love Matt, but I don't know like where it's coming from.
One, it could have just been her sleeping. Maybe she has sleep apnea. Two, it could be that she realized something was wrong with Sebastian. Something happened to him at that specific time, and she realized that she needed to act before morning. Or three, something happened to Sebastian or was going to happen to Sebastian, and she was knowing that that was going to happen around 3 o'clock in the morning.
I think something happened to Sebastian maximum by 10 o'clock. Whatever happened to Sebastian, I think happened before 10 o'clock.
So she was getting nervous because of what was going to take place. I also find it interesting how Katie and Chris were on the phone talking to each other between 9 and around midnight. And around 3 o'clock, all of this stuff is happening. Katie's heart rate is up. And it just so happens to be that if Chris had hung up the phone around midnight with Katie to go to bed, if he had somehow gotten in a vehicle and started driving back to Stafford Court in Hendersonville, he would have gotten there around 3 o'clock in the morning because it's a little over 3 hours away driving distance from Memphis. Just some food for thought for you guys based on everything that has been recently coming out and being discussed. I go back and forth with what I feel because...
Okay, I need to watch Mob. Maybe I need to talk to him. A lot of times we think FBI have technologies like we see on CSI, but it couldn't be further from the truth without sufficient. Where was that comment? It jumped up. Evidence. These things always take time. It does. It does take time. Now, there are technologies that are, and you guys know I don't like conspiracies or anything, but there are technologies out there that the FBI can use that we have no idea even what it is, right? And usually by the time we know they can ping something, that technology is outdated. That's why we know it in many cases as well. So, but they still have to have, it's a think of it as a cake or a pie. You got to have a part of this and a part of this. You got to make up the whole pie, right? And if you just have one or two, that's just not enough. You got to have overwhelming amounts of evidence because you don't know if something is going to be thrown out in court, if the judge doesn't accept it, or what. You've got to have stacks of different angles, irrefutable proof that it's this person or these persons and can only be these persons, right? And in my opinion, I think if there's any case that I have ever done, and I've done a lot of cases with my old channel and this channel, if any, I hate to sound so negative about this, but I'm being real because of things that I know. If there is any if there's any case that someone could not be found or would not be found because of who we're dealing with in this case, I don't think Sebastian out of all of them, because I think there are people that would go to any length to make sure that they are not. And I think that could be as sometimes you can virtually destroy everything, if you get my drift. So what this case is going to require, in my opinion, is an overwhelming amount of circumstantial evidence, meaning people's interrogations, interviews, and the data that goes up against what said individuals said in their interview. And I think that's what it's going to take. I do think Sebastian's case, they would prosecute without a body. I do feel like that they would, as long as they have an overwhelming amount of evidence, circumstantial, digital. When I mean that, data, things like that. There's also another thing, but I can't say it publicly because I know people watch me and I don't want to give anything out. But there is something. Thank you, bro. Thank you so much. Can you play the clip of Seth calling Edgar out and calling him a bitch on the lab? Seth finally just lost it and went all out love. Well, when I was, thank you so much. I appreciate you, my dear. When I was listening to Seth, he was calling Edgar out too, I believe. So is that what you mean?
Because there's just so much here that doesn't make sense. So many questions are left unanswered. And, I put pieces together and things don't make sense one way, but then you turn them and they make sense that way. And then sometimes new information comes out and it has you side eyeing what you were originally thinking. And, the fact that the Sumner County Sheriff's Office isn't debunking things, isn't coming out and saying anything, it just creates more confusion. And I don't know what to think. You guys feel what I'm saying? It's very frustrating.
I can tell you.
All right.
Excuse me. I can tell you this, that I believe if this would have happened in Clarksville, where Seth lives, individuals would already be in jail. Clarksville doesn't mess around. Where Seth lives, they have an amazing police precinct there. Absolutely amazing. And yeah, I mean, I don't think all hope is lost in Sebastian's case, not even close. But I do think that I'm not sure if Sumner County if they don't hand it over, I just did a live the other day showing how in Kentucky, with Bardstown, they said, we can't do it. Can't do it. We got to call the FBI. They wrote him a letter, invited him in, and guess what? 6 months later, 8 months later, you had the FBI knocking on doors and tearing out their entire yard, digging the hell out of it, digging up all kinds of places. And guess what? They got a conviction. It took 10 years. It took 10 years, but got a conviction. It didn't take the FBI 10 years. They just had to be invited. They was assisting the entire time. Assisting and inviting them to take over are two major different things. Well, the reason it took 10 years is because the last 7 or 8, it was them. It was the state, the local police precinct, county. Hey, Tara. How are you, lovies? There will never be justice for Sebastian this summer. Too much conflict of interest there, in my opinion. Well, Maurice, I'm hoping that there's there was a tip that came in to the TBI with a very good private investigator. Very, very good private investigator. And now I'm hearing that the TBI is going back to search certain things. Linda, is it your birthday? Happy birthday, Linda. Happy birthday, dear. So I hope Don and Candace are quaking in their boots.
I believe he said it well when he wrote that song, and said it when are these politicians going to start caring about minors other than
Me too, Rainbow.
minors on an island somewhere? My son is a minor. There's been so many missing children, and I have personal views on these stupid politics. It really affects me. Everybody's up in arms about ICE this, ICE that, but nobody wants to, state the fact that, they just rescued 8 children in Southern California. They rescued 8 children. Florida, they turned around and had an operation there, rescued children. Contacted Jacksonville, Florida to find out if my son was in that group. And the detective in Jacksonville, Florida was,
I'm doing the live tomorrow.
Contact the detective in charge of the case to get any information. Like, this is my son. I'm just wanting to know if you found him. Obviously, Sumner County didn't contact me, but I'm pretty sure Sumner County didn't give a rat's ass about my son because that's what they've done.
I think it will get solved eventually.
Jack and Lilly in another country had 11 detectives on it. In this county, when my son goes missing, we're going to give you 1. Well, Mr. Brandon Carter, just remember, I have all the text messages that state that you were in court this day, or you're on vacation this day, and all that sort of stuff. And understand.
You know what? This is what they need to do. and I don't think Girl Mom's in here right now, but they're we'll just say we had a meeting 3 weeks ago now, with, we'll just say, an individual, we'll say associated for specific reasons, or maybe part of TBI, or maybe works with TBI. I'm not going to say, but for specific reasons. But in their opinion, they said they believe that if there is a suspect or suspects in this case, if they were running it, they would name those suspects now, or persons of interest. And I agree with them. I agree with them. Piss or get off the pot, so to speak. It's time. Just like in Summer's case, after 4 years, I mean, Ronnie Lawson ain't going to do a fucking thing with Summer's case. It'll have to be the TBI if there's anything. But if you can't clear parents after 4 years, or you can't name a potential person of interest, then give it up. Give it to someone else. And I'm the type of person where I believe law enforcement many times gets unfair criticism, because it's easy for us to say, oh, well, do this and do that. But it's really hard to do some of those things. But after 4 years, listen, Sumner County, we're at a year and a half for Sebastian, nearly. If you can't clear the parents, or you can't name persons of interest, give it up. Give it to someone else. So, many times they earn it. Absolutely. And that's why I like Hawkins County. They fucked it up from day one. And I believe Sumner messed up a lot of things too in the beginning. I believe they bought it hook, line, and sinker. Oh, well, he's an autistic child. Of course he got out. Of course he got out. Autistic kids get out all the time. 40% will elope by the time they're 12. I think within, being home one solid day, and then going back to get your camper whenever straight up said it was just him. Just him. And it took me months and months of work. And it wasn't just him. It was not just him. He had 2 individuals with him that evening. But he said, He wasn't going down there and to pack his stuff up and come straight back home. So he spent the night. But he slipped and he said, we weren't down there. I don't know. We were down there, what? We were down there about 19 hours. Oh, and I say we, I don't mean we. I mean I. KK wasn't with me. Yeah. Okay. I agree. She wasn't with you. But who else was with you? 2 others. 2 others. And let me tell you something. That's not an alleged. I know 2 people were with him that evening. I know it. And I know it. Sherry, 2 very close people. Star said it.
And anything you've said to me is a lie. I don't trust you as much as I could throw you. And the thing is I wouldn't touch you. You know, you get to go home to your kids. I'm at home. My kid isn't here. But anyways, I mean, they still sleep good at night. But I've seen some of the stuff going around. I started this page so that I could keep everybody up to date with some of the stuff that I could let you know that was going on. I want you to know that I'm still tracking down every tip that comes in.
I mean, just like Carter emailed me and said, this is a criminal investigation. I don't even know if he realized that's what he typed or whatever, but it was, I mean, I've got the email. This is a criminal investigation. Tell me, what do you think? I forget how he used it. I've got the emails. But he said, what do you think is most likely to happen? Well, he knows what I think most likely happened. And I think I'm not going to speak for him, but I think I think TBI and Sumner County cannot get on the same page. And I think there's a conflict there.
Either at night, my own PIs that have the tip line set up. I mean, any of these tips that come in, I'm tracking down.
He is
I'm
too.
working behind the scenes.
I know he
You
is.
know, I appreciate people wanting to start petitions, but a lot of the times I've already got the petition started, and just, you know, if
Petitions, I'll support a petition, and I've supported petitions in the fort, but I've never seen a petition do anything. And that's just the truth. That's just the truth. I mean, they got to look at it after so many, but they look at it and they toss it to the side.
if you start another petition, it takes away from the people it takes away from the petition that I started. And a lot of people don't seem to understand that. And I need everybody to be on the same page. and finding
all it does.
Sebastian. I mean, I just do. I am working on Sebastian's law that you're bringing in. Unless they're going to sit there and take care of those children and treat them like their own and have understanding and know how to help them develop, it just does your children even worse. I still, like I said, need people to be handing out flyers and stuff.
I'm gonna get where he gets fired up.
I need more tips coming in. I need more eyeballs looking for Sebastian.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of y'all remember playing telephone when you were younger, but
I believe so, Poppy.
I'm going to share the picture again on
Yes, Ann.
on my YouTube page.
Hold on, let's go right here.
Sebastian's Law. Well, I'm working on Sebastian's.
I believe Sebastian's law will be passed.
Does not do anything. Does not do any good to be arguing or fighting in my chat.
1 second. Let me find out where he gets pissed.
When I turned around and I asked both TBI and the FBI to change the pictures on the flyers.
Listen to this.
And TBI and FBI said, sure, we'll get right on that. Well, the FBI came through. And in 2 weeks, we had new pictures on these flyers.
Yep. Let me tell you something. The FBI and local law enforcement, it's like there's the professionalism is overwhelmingly different, right? You call Sumner County, you're going to get someone, what do you mean? Or hang up on you. You would never get that with the FBI. No matter if you are the biggest dumbass ever, they're going to be professional to you because they're actually trained and do get results. You go, oh my God, you call Hawkins County, forget about it. They will hang up on you. You call SCSO, most of the time they won't even take your call. You'll get Blanche's Bessie, yes. God bless that woman that Smiley talked to.
Unfortunately, the TBI hasn't done nothing because they won't do anything unless Sumner County agrees to it.
Sumner County, you're going to look like you actually give a damn, and people would support you even more if you handed it over, because that way we know you're actually driving the spaceship here. Hand it over to minimum of TBI. Give it to TBI. But this is the thing, in my opinion. Many times they don't want to hand it over. And yes, pride is a part of it. But many times they don't want to look like complete dumbasses if they messed up on the case. And that's the truth. That's the truth. Right? TBI sees this and they're like, oh my God, why did not you do that in the beginning? Why did you let people in that house in the beginning? Why did you let someone go back to another state, hadn't been home 24 hours? right? They don't want to show how they operated. And that's the damn truth. And that is someone that sat down in their living room with and told us that. Especially the FBI. They don't want Big Brother looking in on their little county of how things operate. If there is stuff going on. Now, if there's nothing going on, there's nothing to worry about. But it makes you wonder. I mean, Hawkins County, fuck, we know. I mean, look at Hawkins County. Ronnie Lawson's son, for God's sakes, when he is a RSO, registered RSO. And this was going on when Summer was missing. Right? But working with the FBI, having the FBI assist, right? So this is what assisting means, right? Sumner County says to the FBI, hey, can you run this in your lab for us? There you go. Sure, of course. They go run it in the lab. They send it back. That's what assisting means. Or you'll hear, well, they look at the same evidence we do. They look at the same evidence we do. Well, yes, but that doesn't mean they see it the same. And there's a reason they get paid a hell of a lot more than some overworked investigator, detective at the county level.
And Sumner County is not agreeing to anything because they don't even track down the tips that they get. And it's what happened to my relationship. Listen, well, somebody just, you know what? There you go. Tired of the scene coming up, and up. If somebody sits there and tells you something over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, and you continue to believe it, but you're not seeing it, at some point in time, you have to call BS on what they're doing.
That's for damn sure. When the case becomes a federal.
I don't live in that county. Because I'll tell you right now, if I lived in that county, I would run again.
FBI can take over for many different reasons. Many different reasons. Absolutely many different reasons. For instance, if one of the suspects, if they have a suspect, went across state lines, well, there you go.
Against that douchebag.
And guess what? I bet you that happened.
I don't like his policies. I don't like what he's doing. He doesn't need a raise. He needs to get himself out there and find my son.
I agree.
Do something. I sent them a letter. Maybe I'll put the letter up on. I literally put a letter to them, an email stating that if you hadn't done, and I listed several things, and it's not just on that side, it's on my side. If you haven't tracked these things down for every suspect, then you can't tell me you've done your job. And when I sent that letter to them, they stopped wanting to communicate with me. They want to stop communicating with me, that's fine. But when I'm getting only lies, like they called me in on my son's birthday.
Completely.
My son's birthday, you call me in and give me a line of BS. Okay? It's my son's birthday. I'm going to listen to you. I listen to what you got to say. But you can't tell me one thing and then do another. Because if that's what you're going to do, well, I'm not going to believe you. I'm not going to believe anything you say because your actions don't back up your words. It's not what you say, it's what you do that matters.
On Sebastian's birthday. They did.
My son matters. Missing children matter. Protecting children matter. And protecting our future by protecting the children matter. And if you can't do those things, you don't deserve to wear that badge that you just so proudly put on your chest.
In fact, I think the FBI can get involved just because there was an Amber Alert. Because there was an Amber Alert itself, they can get involved. I'm almost certain of that.
Hide behind, Mr. Craddock. That goes for anybody.
I hope so. Where did that comment go?
Right back.
What happened?
Knows.
Oh, he went black for a second. I hope they have that iWatch. If not, I'm sure they have the data. They have the data.
Anyways.
Regardless of whether they have the watch or not.
Personally, Miss Lisa.
Hopefully, it had
I hope the trolls can't sleep tonight. Kind of wish that
data package.
They go to sleep and possibly don't wake up tomorrow. You know.
Don't say that.
Then they can sleep forever in their troll-induced,
Oh, I thought he was talking about himself. Okay, sorry.
But the trolls don't make me lose any sleep. They don't make me gain anything either. What the trolls don't realize is that I don't care about them. I care about my son, and he's the one missing. I just put on chat so I can see what's going on. I appreciate all the hearts and everybody, but seriously, let's play the game of telephone. Let's see if we can, 10 people out of your phone, if we can send them Sebastian's flyer and then have them send it over to 10.
I agree. 10.
Can't even spell his name correctly. So you don't know, and you're right. It's a D-I-C-K. It's Crad Dick, but that's not how you spell his name, Joe Mama. So why don't you, Joe Mama? And I only had him 4 days out of the month. I had him 4 days every other week. I had him every other weekend. Okay. And some of you people just don't seem to understand that with my work, I am off every other weekend. So every other weekend when I had him, I wasn't at work. Y'all are fools. Some of y'all can't even get the.
Oh, Seth, I wouldn't have gave that to him.
Too many comments has come out of your mouth, Chris, that states otherwise.
Oh, hold on.
Y'all did something to my son. Too many comments has come out of your mouth, Chris, that states otherwise. Well, if I wish I had known that before this happened. What do you mean you wish you had known this before this happened, Chris? Conversations that go on between me and my son.
Down a dark alley. They can completely invite the FBI in. All they have to do, listen, the FBI took over Bardstown's Crystal Rogers case. she was a missing mom, right? They have to be invited, and they can be invited. And if they accept, and this is a child, an autistic child, I am absolutely certain, because we sat in someone's living room 3 weeks ago and spoke to someone who's been I'll just say in law enforcement in Tennessee for 28, 29, 30 years.
Son are between father and son, not father and son and some douchebag that his mother married. You had nothing to do with my son being conceived, born, breastfed, raised, or anything else. All you did was invade his life and make it a living hell, which I'm kind of finding you do for a lot of people.
This is what this is the part I was listening to. I was leaving Walmart earlier.
But then again, birds of a feather flock together. So, all the information and stuff that I have received about your family, not just your mother and her current husband, man, those ties must run real deep in Sumner County, baby, for all the things he's been charged of and never went to jail for. Same thing with your mother.
Yes.
I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared of your mother. Not scared of your stepfather. I'm not scared of anybody in your family. Y'all can show up at my house at any point in time. I'll step outside.
Did you text me, SL? Hold on, I'll look. 1 second.
And I'll beat where my son's is out of you. Because I know that you have something to do with it, Chris. I know that you have something to do with it because of the stuff that you've said to me. The things that you have opened your mouth and stated on YouTube interviews, on regular interviews. You guys are so fake. I understand that you don't care about Sebastian. I understand that you don't care about me. But I care about Sebastian, and he should be with me right now. He should have been in school. He should be enjoying his vacation. He shouldn't be enjoying his summer vacation right now. I should have landed so many fish with him on the river that it would have been ridiculous. He should be out there with his... He should have dropped his first deer this year. There's a lot of things that I'm missing doing with my son right now.
Just like in Daniel's whenever Malehya chose to be with Daniel, and things rather quickly deteriorated, and now there's 2 kids missing. I think the same thing happened in Sebastian's case, in my opinion. Influencing a lot.
But like I said, I'm also working on Sebastian's Law. It's to update the Amber Alert system. It's to make sure that there's proper communication in between law enforcement agencies when a child goes missing. It's to make sure that there is a national database that every law enforcement agency and every social service or child agency will be able to have submit information and be able to pull up information. Yep. That way people can't sit there and go from one state to another state and run away from child protective services.
Yes, Sharon.
Because that stuff doesn't follow you like an arrest record or whatnot.
It should. It
It's
should.
not too broad. What it is that the Amber Alert system and stuff of that sort are state-based. So if we can turn around and institute the law to make it a federal law, then we can turn around and it becomes a federal mandate, not a state mandate. So while you got CPSs and things going on, if we got federal mandates over it, then we have federal mandates over it. And that's what I would truly like, is I would like, there needs to be an oversee. It's at the same point in time that CPS failed my son for not contacting me and putting me right in the middle so I know what's going on, then they failed. There's been so many.
How does a father who has joint 50-50 custody, even though he wasn't at Seth's 50% of the time, Seth moved to Tennessee to be with his son, because he was in California. KK and Edgar, they moved from California to Tennessee, mainly because, in my opinion, that's what allegedly the military wanted, but that's nonetheless. How does CPS not notify Seth? How does that happen? That's insanity.
Problems with DCS and CPSs at the state level, because they're all.
And you guys know that I've been in contact. Well, they've actually been in contact with me, with, I'll just say, staff members at the school. That way nobody can get pointed out in specifics. And KK never went there since Sebastian was missing. Never went there to say, hey, did Sebastian ever say anything about running away or anything? Never went there to get his stuff. But you know who did? This man right here. This man.
All state level. They're all state level, and that doesn't need to be just state level. They need to have overall communication from state to state. If a child goes missing in Tennessee, the Amber Alert should be for Tennessee and for the surrounding states.
Yep.
And then at the same point in time, there should be communication between every police department within that state.
Bingo.
Within that state that states that, hey, this child is missing. When Sebastian went missing and I got a tip about somebody that was all dressed in black, walking barefoot down the road, and it was brought to me from somebody on Facebook. When I called up Lebanon, they had no idea that my son was missing. They did not know. There had already been an Amber Alert, which I didn't even get an Amber Alert.
I believe most CPS people are very good people. You guys know I'm friends with someone who's been in CPS. My best friend has been in CPS 20 years. But I also believe the system itself needs huge reform. huge reform. And I also believe that they are very much overworked, very much underworked, and they are very much underfunded. Very much underfunded. Very much underfunded.
On my phone.
I mean, it's insane. It's insane. When I did foster care, whenever I'd get so pissed off. Whenever, like, if we had the child needed a haircut, for instance, we had to contact them, and then you texted me in our okay, Kiki, thank you. And after we contacted them, they had to contact the parents that they were taken away from to see if they approved of them getting a haircut or not. If they approved of them getting a haircut or not. I'm like, you just took them out of the house because, you know, they slept in squalor. Oh, it's like that here. Yeah. Yeah. And you wonder why people get frustrated with doing foster care. You have to think of the greater cause. You really do, because it gets very, very frustrating. Yeah. Yeah. You know, the parents that they took them away from, keeping their child in a crib, for 3 years, but they can still say they can get a haircut or not. And you had to wait for that. Usually, your son or something wants a haircut, you say, "Hey, let's go to the barber shop." That's what I do. Right? No, not that. You contacted your worker, they put in an order, and then they sent it, or they contacted the parents, and hopefully if they didn't, they decided to answer the phone and sign the paper, then within a week you could have a haircut. So it's ridiculous. It's freaking ridiculous.
My own son. So when I called Lebanon and they didn't know that my son was missing, that's a problem. That's a problem in the very it's a problem in the communication of information.
Absolutely.
Law enforcement in one
Absolutely.
agency in one
Good to see
county
you, honey.
should be communicating with another county. Sumner County, you don't like Davison County, where I work. That's a problem.
Yep, Mohawk, you're right.
So you don't like them and they don't like you. My son's missing. He doesn't give a shit. If I don't like my neighbor and his kid goes missing, I'm going to help him find his kid.
Absolutely. Some things you just put to the side,
because
no matter
that's what neighbors do. That's what a community does. They come together and find the problem and fix the problem.
Thank you, Lorraine.
And if I scream until the end of my days and these problems don't get fixed, then I messed up somewhere. But I'm going to fight every minute, every second that I can to get stuff changed for the benefit of my son and for other missing children out there.
There needs to be reform. Big time reform.
I don't know where you are, son, but I'm not done looking. I'll never be done looking.
That's sad. God. My heart.
There's no enjoyment in this life really anymore. All my enjoyment disappeared.
You see that Malehya, Daniel, this is a grieving father. This is a grieving parent. It's been nearly a year and a half since Sebastian has went missing. He showed more grief in this one live than you two have at all. At all. At all. Broke Stacker, are you still in here? Oh, thank you, Caper. I did it for 8 years.
And it's not fair to him.
Still may do it again.
I'm going to find him. I've already started a petition for the FBI. I've been in contact with Marcia Blackburn's office. I am
Come on,
attempting
Marcia,
to.
do something.
I've been asking for them to help set me up an appointment for the FBI. If I have to,
Yeah.
walk to DC for the appointment, I will. I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Oh my
to
God,
me.
Annabelle.
I'll walk to the ends of the earth to find my son.
Can you believe, Daniel? I found my stapler. Maybe you should staple your mouth then, in my opinion, allegedly. Because all he's saying is a crock of shit is all he's saying. Daniel, I was livid earlier. I rarely get like that. I rarely get like that. But I could not believe the hypocrisy that this man was over there doing. I triggered the hell out of him, though. I triggered the hell out of him. That's why he was all up in there typing 90 miles an hour. Thank you for talking about Jack and Lilly and keeping it on them rather than my dating life. Well, Daniel, what we're doing is showing that you say you give a damn, but your actions says something completely different when your story doesn't make a bit of sense. Oh, I'll show you. Hold on. I'll pull it up in just a minute, SL. Actually, I think we're almost done with this.
Anything that I can do to push it on to get him, because this shouldn't be going on.
No, it should. Let me just see what else he says here.
To understand what the animal's feeling, and then you blossom the idea of helping the animals, and then the child will take that blossom and flower. 16 months. I'm losing track. I'm losing count. Dude.
Let me pull up Daniel's stuff.
And all I'm going to do is keep looking for Sebastian. So please continue to help pass out flyers. I need these tips coming in. And, these tips are what's keeping me moving, and I appreciate it. Thank you again, Sebastian's Army. Thank you for tuning me in on a Sunday night. I want you all to be blessed.
All right.
And if I can't sleep, I need you all to get sleep for me. Y'all have a wonderful night.
How could anyone be happy? Right? How could
He's covered in
anyone?
bruises from his pant line
Oh.
up to his.
All right. So we're going to talk about Mr. Martell now. Oh, thank you, Annabelle. Daniel literally wanted airports shut down, but couldn't hang out missing posters. There you go, folks. Bingo, Annabelle. Bingo. It's so ridiculous. So ridiculous. Okay. Let's find Mr. Martell on this one. I think it's this one. And the thing about it is, hold on. Daniel, you are a blubbering. Okay, here we go. Daniel wants to be handled with kid gloves. That's what he wants. Here's one. And it says, I was just given a stack of posters with my brackets, which I appreciate, by the way. Great, Daniel. I'm sure we'll be seeing you out there putting those up. I look forward to that. 72, 3 days later now. Good job. But I'm not going to stroke your ego for you to be doing something in the first place. Now, I agree. Malehya should have her ass out doing something. People's like, well, how do you know Malehya's not doing anything? Because we haven't seen it or heard it. And if she's not speaking to the public, which is all about finding Lilly and Jack, if they are missing, well, then she would be out there. What does he mean by brackets? At this point, it's clear to me that Daniel just enjoys all the attention. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, but he wants handled with kid gloves. He wants handled with kid gloves. Right? Okay. Now, let's see here. Is this another one? Give me 2 seconds. Was that the one I just clicked? Okay. Oh, Belinda made a good question here. This was, I believe, to Daniel. If they believe them to be alive, why did Daniel ask for cadaver dogs? Oh, bracelets. Oh. Yeah, I'm equally, sometimes more disgusted with Malehya, to be honest with you. But and that's a good question. Daniel just said in this live stream, hey, Faye, good to see you, honey. Oh, Daniel's talking to more than one girl, one woman. Aren't you, Daniel? You're just planting those little seeds, showing them how of a good boy you are, so that way they can say, oh, I talked to Daniel. He's such a good guy. Good guys don't lie about when a 4 and a 6-year-old child missing. So, Daniel, as you put in chat earlier, look at Look at what he said. Stop pinning everything on me. Malehya has done nothing. And Daniel, I've always said I give you a little more credit, but then I take a lot of credit away. Why? Because you lie. And so I actually don't know if you're actually should be given actually more credit, because sometimes it's better to not just say anything if you're going to lie. If you're not going to tell the truth, that's one thing, but then don't lie because you're coming out and speaking. All you're saying is lies, right? That's all he's saying. What is it? That's it. Stop pinning everything on me. Stop lying. How about that? Oh, crap. What'd I do? Damn, what'd I do? Okay. Let me see here. Here it goes. I was just given a stack of posters with my, I think he means bracelets, which I appreciate, by the way. Daniel, do you not realize how ridiculous you look right there? You just thought about this after 73 days? Come on, man. Straighten up. Get it together. Get it together. Hold on. She can't even look at me. No need to piss her off. Daniel, you're the one that said you changed. You're the one that said you changed. That's your words. Of course, you didn't want that out there. You wanted this person who was talking to Malehya to say, she'll know what that means. You said, she'll know what that means. Right? Meaning, well, if, Malehya will talk to you, please just tell her I'll be the same Daniel, the non-math smoking Daniel that she was whenever she met me. And I've not heard anyone say this. You'll probably hear it after this, but that makes me wonder, because I honestly don't know how anyone could put up with someone for 2.5 years smoking meth. Right? Like, how would anyone do that without being smoking themselves? But I go back to that message and I hear, tell her I'll be the same Daniel that I was. She'll know what that means. Meaning, he was obviously not on meth then. Not on meth then. Is that what led to whatever happened to Lilly and Jack? I don't know. But clearly, in my opinion, Daniel, everything changed for these children when she moved there and got with him. Everything. Everything changed. And now they're missing. Now they're missing. You know what I mean? Okay. Where was this? Let's see here. She can't even look. No need to piss. Okay, we read that one. I'm not protecting Malehya. Oh, by the way, you know what the Daniel's little honey, his new honey, you know what she said? That Daniel did not believe Durwood. Now, again, I'm not saying that I believe that or anything, but she said Daniel doesn't believe Durwood. She was pregnant with the baby when he. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Hey, Charmaine. Good to see you, hon. Andrea. Yes, forget it. Daniel does fool some people. Some took up for him. I see their streams. Oh, he does fool some people. He does. But listen, I am not going to listen. In Sunny's, I was listening to Sunny's today when I ended my live stream and I went to Walmart and I was in the store listening. And like they said, Daniel, we will, it can be a closed setting if you'll answer some questions, not even new questions, right? Not even new questions. Questions of clearing up things. He wouldn't answer it. Are you going to, why should anyone beg or ask multiple times to a grown ass man who should not want any confusion about a 4 and a 6-year-old, a preschooler and a kindergartner missing? Very simple. Right? Oh, thank you, Annabelle. A treat for Emmy. Thank you, love. Appreciate you very much. Thank you, love. So it just blows my mind. Like, relocate and isolate, same as CP did. Oh, yep. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Daniel side hustle. Yeah, well, I think he's Daniel's talking to more than one. Absolutely. 1,000%. 1,000%. 1,000%. Yes. It's like you want people to stop using your words against you. Okay. Stop saying lies. Very, very provable lies, right? Just very, very provable. You can't, I mean, I don't know if he understands the concept of if you tell that, one news that Lily's wearing a Barbie shirt and you tell and she's got a cream backpack with strawberries, and you tell another news that she's wearing a pink sweater and a white backpack with strawberries, and you text someone and you say her strawberry, or not her strawberry, her Barbie shirt is here at the house, and you say to another person, they're not wearing what we think they're wearing. That's all I can tell you. That they're not going, like, we're not going to compare notes. Like, what the hell? It's insanity at this point. It really is just insanity. I think a mod over there called me a hemorrhoid at one point over a valid. Oh, I'm sorry, Viral Beast. It's not nice. I mean, listen, every one of us run our channels differently. I get it. And we all have different rules. I don't do the drama BS or anything like that. But if he's man enough to enter this room, which he is absolutely clearly not, because my people and I are going to ask him some questions. And this is the thing. Someone who is absolutely innocent and a man or a parent and has no problem explaining something. No problem. No problem. Oh, yeah, I did say that. I did say that. Let me clear that up. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with Rainbow, Ann, Shannon, Debbie, Faye, anybody, Mohawk, anybody asking a legitimate question? There's just not, in my opinion. Like, you come to the internet, you're going to speak to people. Just the way it is. That's how it works in my room. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. It's insulting that he thinks we are also stupid and are going to believe. Oh, absolutely. He's a twerp. Yeah. 1962 was the last time that DP was used in Canada, and it was done in Toronto. He won't answer any question I've asked him anywhere. I think he wouldn't even answer. And like, they were trying their best to make it comfortable for him to just clear up something. He wasn't going to do it. Never. 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 Yeah, I saw you, Mama Angie. I was watching. In my opinion, kids, what's wrong with my computer right now? No longer with us and haven't been from day reported missing. In my opinion, Daniel and Malehya know where their kids are. Of course. I agree with that. I agree with that. Let's see here. We'll listen to some of this real quick. And let's just see. Credit goes to It's a Criming Shame. Let me drop her link in the description. 2 seconds, y'all. Full credit. It's a criming shame. Link is provided in the description for the replay crew. Here we go.
Like, and if I'm going to be just blunt, it really truly is. It really is, right? It's really wackadoodle, you know, like, I mean, and even with Daniel there too, dude, like, shit, I'll be a fucking monkey's uncle. Sorry to swear, but I'll be a monkey's uncle because, it's because I always go with my gut feeling right away. And if it turns out that Daniel was truthful this whole time and I have to lick my own ass.
Let me tell you something. If Daniel is truthful and has no knowledge, awareness, let me tell you something. Nobody lies about a missing child unless they're hiding something. Nobody. Why? You obviously don't want them found because you wouldn't be telling 4 different stories about what a 4 and a 6-year-old is wearing. That's just, nobody lies about a missing child. It just doesn't happen. Why does someone lie? Why does someone lie? Why does a kid lie? Was your hand in the cookie jar? They don't want, they know that there wasn't supposed to be eating the cookie, right? To hide. They didn't want to get in trouble. They fear the consequences. Same thing in Daniel's case. You don't lie and say, you know, Malehya's going to go down for this and you'll see her in prison with your daughter that you created together. Like, is he?
Out of this one because I was so wrong on that. But because I'm telling you, this case, I'm not kidding. Okay, so Jack and Lily first and foremost, okay? But if we're talking about Malehya and Daniel, this thing's like a swinging pendulum, honestly. Whenever you hear information, then you're just like, woo to Malehya, woo back to Daniel, woo to Malehya. That's how it feels to me. It's so freaking crazy. And it shouldn't be crazy. Daniel. Again, it's 2 children. So what?
He was 1,000% sure the kids are alive. 1,000%. And when he said the night that he told us that he was 1,000% sure the kids are alive, if he was ever to come back on, because I don't know if he will now, just because he feels Sonny was being hard on Daniel, but that's just.
Why is Durwood so, like, if you call Daniel Actual out on his bullshit, like, I could understand, you know, if someone was being unreasonable about certain things, right? But if you ask Durwood about, you know, he said he's 80% sure that he's almost got this solved, and 1,000% sure that the children are alive, and you ask for the reason, you're either going to get cussed out or hung up on. Happened to me, happened to Sonny, and happened to several other creators. Right? And I told Durwood, don't get mad, elevate your argument. Right? Learn about timelines. Learn about timelines, Durwood. Elevate your argument a little bit. Right? You obviously aren't 1,000% sure about anything, or even 80% sure, because you wouldn't get pissed off if people, if you had a legitimate 1000% surety, you wouldn't get mad.
Just because we're asking the hard questions, we're not getting the truth.
Dealing
Darren
with a 53
told
IQ
me
test
that he's 1000% sure the kids were alive when they left the property. Beyond that, he said, Kent, I still believe that they're alive.
Don't know.
And I said, yeah.
I've asked.
Anybody who wants to bring Jack and Lily home, for whatever your motives and reason are, if you want these kids to come back, you sort of have to lean and hope.
Oh, hell
that
no.
story is...
No, Janie. No. Junkyard Janie is just protecting herself, in my opinion, and most especially her children. Right? There is 2 children missing, and you want to argue with them coming in your 30-foot RV at best? Why?
somewhat true.
I don't think so.
Because we definitely know that if they're in the woods.
She did eventually let the police in. She did, Mama Angie. No, Mama Angie. No. Belinda said that. That she was there. And the RCMP said, we just need to come in and check. And that's when they said, Mom, they're not blaming you. Yeah, maybe Durwood said it before that, but Belinda was there. She said she stood there and heard it. Right. I believe Belinda. She's on things that she was there and said. Right. Now, I believe Belinda's probably been told things and she just wants answers, right? Like any grandmother would. Can see Durwood's. Yeah. He lied about the status as being missing persons. Missing persons seems suspicious until investigation leads otherwise. He lied about the status as being missing persons. Missing persons deemed suspicious until investigation leads otherwise, and the status has not changed. Absolutely. Yeah. Belinda is the only one that I believe. That's it. Belinda and Belinda alone. And she was only there for that. What, one day? And then she texted her Malehya text a little
or
bit.
They were in the woods. They wouldn't be alive now. It's been too long. And if something else nefarious happened, then they're not alive no more. So the only hope and faith that we have that these children may come back one day.
Hold on a second.
And still be alive and live the rest of their lives.
Hold on a second.
I
just realized something. Daniel, you said that you have been wanting hold on, you mother chicken. You said you asked in this exact chat today that it was you who asked for the cadaver dogs. Put a 1 in the chat if you've seen that today. That it was him that asked for the cadaver dogs. Put a 1 in the chat. Okay. All right. Just want to make sure it's a little late for me. So I just wanted to make sure. Now, oh, Daniel, this is why you don't want to even clear up your lies. Right? This is why you don't want to clear up your fucking lies. Give me a second. Dogs went to the road and lost scent. What's more strange is that nothing has been found. That's bizarre. What the hell? That's what I would have thought. Let's go wrong. Okay. He says here, what the hell? That's first. What? Okay. Sorry, it wasn't him. Never mind. 1 second. I got to show you this. What he says here. Oh, Daniel. Oh, Daniel. We're getting close to it. Malehya asked me when noticed the kids were gone, should I call the police? Okay. Just give me 1 second, y'all. Daniel, you said right here, she also said the kids are in the woods. Stupid me to believe that, and I searched and searched. Oh, interesting. Thank you, Rainbow. You searched and searched. You're asking still for the cadaver dogs. You was the first to ask for the cadaver dogs so many days after. And here you're saying, stupid me to believe. And I searched and searched. Could he have left the backpack and pulled up and then found in there? Not saying he's really stressed on those tweakers. He's really stressed on those shirts. That's what he's really stressed on. We have his brother filming him opening the garage bag. Why is his brother? Oh, I got you with the shirt in it. Oh, he lies on top of lies. Yes. Yes. Daniel, this looks really bad. Right? But we'll crack after her mental health is put to the test with exams. I'm saying too much. I believe they're alive and Malehya knows who drove them off the property. What do you mean drove them off the property? Daniel, at least in this text. Why did he go to the garbage to get the pink blanket? Because they found a part of the pink blanket in the tree. And Daniel said, oh no, I took that. We used it to cover the window. And I took that and threw it in the garbage a week ago. Come on. Oh, I know. At this point, I hope the mother trucker talks until the day Lilly and Jack are found, the day of judgment or something. I hope. And tonight he said she did. Hold on. Who said that, Caper? Who said it? And tonight he said she did nothing wrong. Because I didn't get to watch all of it. Oh, we love you, Tori. Thank you, baby. You're here. Good to see you, love. Thank you so much. Love you, honey. Good to see you. Daniel said Malehya did nothing wrong. Daniel said Malehya did nothing wrong. Please don't tell me that. I don't want to start cussing. Please don't. Ooh, love to love you, baby. Justin in conduct. I think Daniel was saying Malehya didn't do anything as far as searching for kids. Oh, yeah, he did say that. He did say that. Was taken out of context, in my opinion. Oh, okay. Yeah, so that I do believe. I always want to keep it honest and real. When he was saying that, I think he was talking about Malehya hasn't done nothing, meaning nothing as far as like he's the only one. He says this all the time. He said don't pin this one on me. Yes, he did. He did say that. Sure did. But I think he was meaning as far as like she hasn't done anything. And he's right. I'll give him that. She hasn't done a damn thing. She hasn't done a damn thing. Right? But he says, you know, he's the one that wanted the cadaver dogs. But he also says, she also said the kids were in the woods. Stupid me to believe that. And I searched and searched. Daniel. But y'all, you said you wasn't even asleep that morning. Not even remotely asleep. That is your words. Most recent and only sit down interview where you could have clarified anything, Daniel. Anything. Right? Anything. And you didn't clarify that. Weren't they at partying? I think so. But I also think their math, they were tired, right? And after days of doing math, even after a certain point, it's kind of like, you know, caffeine, like when you're tired and you've drank so much caffeine that it doesn't even do anything anymore. You just need sleep, right? I think they, in my opinion, partied Wednesday and Thursday. And I think they went out Thursday afternoon to get some more. And I think by Friday morning, they needed the sleep and they needed to crash. Right. Right. Is Durwood really missing? No. He's not. He's just wanting us to talk about him. He's not missing. Good God. He's probably setting up something right now, wanting to, people have some sympathy or something for him. Listen, if you lie in a missing child's case, whether you are a parent or you're 80% sure or 1,000% sure, both Durwood has said in different things, I don't want anything to do with you. Nobody should outright lie. Being wrong about something and correcting it is one thing. It happens to all of us. But to intentionally say I'm 1,000% sure on something, not a chance. And get hung up on when you ask a question. Nope. That's different. It's different. Just getting next story ready. That's all it is, Shannon. That's all. None of it was ever true. She was in rehab the entire time, but boy, did our minds play tricks on us. Your minds will play tricks on you. Yes. Yep. Yes. And let me tell you something. That's why so many, respectfully, a lot of these creators out here that's never done anything to, help their channels as far as educating, whether it's statement analysis or anything. I've done it all. They get manipulated. They get manipulated by certain people. They get close to someone on the case, immediately think they're innocent because they're nice to them. Seen it. It happens every case. These creators get manipulated. People get manipulated. Oh my God, they're look, they're so nice. They're so nice to my. He could never, she could never, never, ever. I always tell you, to all of us, there is the public side, the private side, only our friends, and of course our family see, and the secret side, the part of us that no one sees, only ourselves, right? They get manipulated. And in crime, 99% of the time, it is true. People use Occam's razor too much. It annoys me, to be honest with you, but it truly is generally the most simple of answers, right? It's usually not 25 steps in what happened. This person said this person did this, and then met that person in a car and drove 300 miles and drove another person's second mother, first cousin's nephew. It's usually not like that. It's usually very, very simple, right? Something happened, right? People were laying down, right? Or they were in their bedroom using, kids got into something, or they were tweaking, thought something was wrong, they were evil or something like that, or someone popped off for whatever reason. They freak out, they panic, and they got to think really quickly. So Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Someone asked why he hadn't posted the missing posters. Oh, Debbie, absolutely. Absolutely. I got things. I mean, especially in the beginning, like when you first become a creator, it's a huge learning curve, right? So I always try to be more graceful to people who's just starting out, especially. I don't really care what other people do, to be honest with you. They talked about McKinney being found in. You mean Dad? It was said when they talked about. Yeah. People have, like our ancestors and stuff. We had much better concentration. Our attention span was so much bigger back then. And so the human element, we listened to what our grandfather said or whatever, and we would say it almost verbatim as our grandparents, but it would be a little off, right? And things didn't change as much back when, but now our attention span is so short, and it's getting a lot shorter, especially the newer generation. And there is so much information going that it doesn't last. It doesn't mean as much in the age that we are now, right? So we just constantly yap, constantly just yap, 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 right? And I think that's just where all the information, the misinformation comes from, right? Because people just say it. And you're right, like people just say so much, some, things that has no truth whatsoever. So it's crazy. It's crazy. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't see that affects things, but he used it. He didn't want it mattered. What are we talking about? Am I missing something? I read the messages and person said contents were not insured in the building. To a person asking about insurance covering it in a fire? I'm lost on that one. Roxy, FOIA request is so FOIA is Freedom of Information Act. That's only the United States. I don't know if you can do. You can't. They might have a version of FOIA, which would be something else. But I don't think. I don't think you. I don't think there is. You can. I don't know. I don't want to say something I don't know again. So, how did the pink blanket go from the garbage to the tree? Well, in my opinion, it was placed there. I certainly did. I certainly did. And he wants everyone to think that he's a good boy. Oh my God. After 72 days, I got my rusty ass stapler out, and I got my bracelets, And I think I'll just might start posting them up. Why don't you not post stuff up and you talk about explaining your massive index of stuff that you have clearly lied about. Clearly. Yep, 72, 73 days now. That Daniel knew exactly what trash bags the blanket was in and got his brother to film him opening. Logan was there too. Yes. By the way, okay. I want to make this abundantly clear. This is my question. So I got an email today, and it was a question I meant to ask you guys in the chat earlier. I got to go to bed in just a minute. Shit, it's 2:15. I got to be up in just a few hours. So let me find it. Okay. Is this part of the blanket? Or is this a tag, like a ribbon? Let me see if I got that email back, because I asked him today. First of all, if you are watching this, whether now or on the replay crew, do not say this is the blanket, because I don't know. I don't know. I'm actually asking. I thought it looked like Searcher's ribbons too. Now, I don't know. I don't know. I emailed him back and I said, is this the ribbon? Hold on. I got an email back. Let me see what it says. I don't know if that's the pink blanket by the left, the suitcase and the blankets. Just makes a lot of sense to me. Did they reply? Well, I see there were people that said this was the pink blanket, and it's not. That's a swing. That is a swing. Promise. That's a little, I think it's a little tyke swing. That's what that is. Right? Okay. Now, what's this? I think people need to look in this area a little bit closer.
Maybe somebody who they did
in the footage.
Possibly they are wondering if they didn't go missing earlier, or maybe somebody who
They
isn't
didn't.
local to
But
the
we didn't know
area
that
was
then.
around beforehand.
This road is the most direct path from Scott's property to the home the kids went missing from. We drove between the two places. It's about an 18-minute drive down.
Is this a gravel road? Is that a gravel road? Night just in my vision is blah. Mine too.
Rough dirt roads. Straight through the woods, it's about 5 kilometers.
I did mention to them that I was very happy to see them and glad that they were canvassing a little further and looking at trail cam footage. And they did respond saying that they probably should have been around earlier.
RCMP would not answer CBC's questions, including why they are seeking trail camera footage from before the disappearance and why they are identifying local vehicles.
Look at that. Look at that setting. Daniel, Malehya. Yeah, it's crushed rock. But it's almost like, I mean, it's really solid, right? But it's Those kids did not. You couldn't pay me enough money to believe that those kids walked out in those woods. They'd be scared to death. Be scared to death. Me, the rainbow. All right, guys. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you. I will see you guys today. Now today. This evening. At some point. Probably 5 or 6-ish. I have an appointment I have to be at tomorrow noonish or so. And then after I'm done with that, I'll be on tomorrow evening sometimes. I got some stuff to do. CDC will edit the shit out of the interviews, so I doubt that we learn anything, to be honest. Yeah, I wish they would have just played Daniel's. I wish they would just play him straight through. Like, just release, like, after they do their edits and stuff and they get, the money shot, they would just play the whole freaking interview through. That would be nice. Just some good, unvarnished, unpolished interview. Right? It'd be nice. Good night, everyone. God bless. Justice for Lilly and Jack. Justice for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Justice for Summer Wells. Justice for Michael Vaughn. And justice for all of these beautiful people out there that don't have answers. Good night.